So I saw this video pop up on my YouTube channel and I think it's gonna be weirdly interesting. It's titled, "Why are South Africans stealing traffic lights?" Wait, all South Africans move to the front of the class. I'm going to be asking you guys a lot of questions. South Africans are stealing traffic lights and he's asking why. Let's see.
This is a man dragging a traffic light that he's just stolen along the side of the road. This man hits a streetlight with a rock in order to break it off and steal it. This man carries a different traffic light down the middle of the road.
Why?
And another. This man risks it all
What
to
if he
steal
falls?
another streetlight. Why the hell is this happening in South Africa? Why the hell? Stealing traffic lights has become a common occurrence in South Africa.
And they're not even worried about their lives. What if they fall?
But you might ask, why? Well, since I'm South African, I'll fill you in. The guys you see walking around with their stolen traffic lights aren't actually the problem. Sure, they are thieves that will take these traffic light poles to scrap dealers and sell them. But you see, the traffic lights, or robots as they're called in South Africa, yes, everyone literally calls traffic lights robots. Head straight and turn right at the robot, or hierdie bliksem de rooi robot, or green is for go, not slow. The bloody robot already turned green. You know, that kind of thing. Know what I'm talking about? And I don't know why. Maybe when they were introduced to SA, they were seen as such amazingly advanced technology that they reminded everyone of sci-fi robots or whatever. Either way, these robots...
They really call traffic lights robots? I'm learning a lot about South Africa today.
Flash traffic lights that you see guys carrying around
so
were
far.
already cut down and left on the side of the road by far more nefarious criminals. The cable tsotsis. Let's get into it. You see here, a guy is filming the traffic lights cut down at an off-ramp from the highway. You can clearly see how they've been chopped down, but the thieves weren't after the lights. No, they were after the copper cables inside. There is a thriving black market for copper in South Africa, and it has made the problems South Africa faces even more dire. Before I tell you about this black market and all the nonsense that goes around it, how about a word from today's sponsor? Take a look at this. Is this not the slickest, coolest wallet you've ever seen? I mean, guys, by now we know extra wallets.
We'll skip this for a bit, but the link will be in the description in case you want to go, check it out. I want to see South Africa.
From my videos, South Africa suffers nationwide power cuts every single day. It's called load shedding. And this is because of the incompetent and corrupt government who chose to pocket and steal government funds allocated to electrical infrastructure upgrade and maintenance. So although South Africans suffer daily power cuts already, these cable tsotsis make life far worse for people by stealing not only the traffic and streetlight cables, but miles of underground electrical cables too, leaving areas completely without power for weeks and sometimes months, while the inefficient and corrupt state power company tries to fix and replace the stolen cables. So what is a tsotsi?
Who do they sell it to start with? Who's buying it? So the problem, some people, it's a demand-supply thing. People always say the supply is usually the problem. People speak about this in cases of like drug addiction, where it's like people are supplying these people and that's why people are using the drugs. But in some instances, we can also see from the demand part. Like in this case, I would address the demand, like who wants this? Who's buying it? Who's asking for it? If you can cut that channel off, then this should stop.
All South Africans know what a tsotsi is, but I really do need to explain the word to all of you. You see, South Africa is a hotbed of crime. And everyone in South Africa is affected by crime in one form or the other. No one escapes. The thing is, we need to draw the line between criminals and tsotsis. A criminal can be a thief. Anyone who participates in any sort of crime, big or small, is a criminal. But a tsotsi is something else. A tsotsi is a depraved, murderous thug whose heights of depravity, violence, and absolute savagery can never be outmatched. When you hear horror stories of home invasions and the absolute inhuman acts carried out by attackers in South Africa, these are not carried out by criminals. No.
Tsotsis.
That is the work of tsotsis. Not to get dour or anything, but people that don't know South Africa wouldn't believe how messed up it is under the Mandela facade. Here's a quick statistic for you. The second quarter of crime statistics released by the police state that nearly 7,000 people were murdered in less than 90 days. That makes plus minus 77 murders a day from July to September 2023. That is a lot of tsotsi nonsense going on there. 77 murders a day is quite a lot. So why are tsotsis involved in stealing cables? Well, it all started out pretty innocently. Telephone lines and the occasional power line would be stolen and sold off for scrap. I mean, I remember back in the day being frustrated that I couldn't use the internet or call my friends because, the telephone lines had been stolen again. I used to use ISDN and dial-up and that sort of thing. Or suffering a power outage for a few days because the power lines had been stolen once more. I lived fairly far out back then, so we were more apt to experience cable theft in our area. But it used to happen often, like once every couple of months. But as the market shifted and copper became a big ticket item, especially since copper is used in development projects, a huge black market for copper emerged. And of course, the demand skyrocketed. Now, it wasn't just petty cable thieves. Organized crime stepped in. Armed gangs started targeting power lines and other infrastructure that uses copper cabling, like telephone lines, traffic lights, street lights, etc.
But this is detrimental to them too. If you're stealing your own electric cables and your own phone cables, what are you going to use? It's detrimental to you as the person. Yeah.
Anyone tried to stop them, they'd get shot at. These gangs got even craftier. They'd steal the power lines and then lay in wait for the maintenance staff to arrive to fix the problem. They would then attack the maintenance staff, robbing them and stealing their vehicles, equipment, and any replacement cables they were carrying. The state power company started to hire armed security guards to escort the repair technicians. But the armed tsotsi gangs would attack the security guards and steal their firearms and ammunition. I wish I could tell you that a solution had been found, but this is still ongoing. Because there is no stopping these tsotsis, as they aren't afraid of the police, and I can guarantee are connected to the state power company too, as they have the uncanny ability to know exactly where the power lines are buried and when the power will be cut to those particular lines.
So wait, sorry to keep stopping the video. These are the tsotsis dragging the power lines with the police. And the police is dragging, is it the same thing that happens in the UK? Police don't carry weapons in South Africa, or you're not allowed to, you show force? Because this is something. This is quite something.
So to summarize, South Africa faces daily power cuts. But we can now add power cable theft to the mix, which ensures that many South Africans face power cuts plus cable theft related power outages. Oh, and the chance that if they try to do anything about it, they'll be murdered by tsotsis. And people wonder why I'll never go back to SA. Sure, I miss the occasional...
Where does he live now?
Omar Rusk and a sticky droevors. But I don't need to go back to SA to get them. Until next time, unlike the criminal chaotic mess that is South Africa under the ANC, stay awesome.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, it's not just South Africa. It happens everywhere too. In Nigeria, they still, I don't know if it's transformer oil or something like that. There's something where they put the transformer and then people steal the parts of the light transformer. I don't know if there's a real name, but we call it transformer in Nigeria. People come and take all those parts. I don't understand these things. You can't really fix it. Because how many police officers are you going to send to fight all these people? There are probably more of them than police officers, and the repetition and the frequency of the occurrence. Police officers can't keep up. Maybe it could be like a change in society where it's like there's a better job, or something that makes them more money, so they'd rather do that than do this. Maybe that, but I don't know how you can fix this. I mean, we have to understand that the people in government, the people in the big offices in charge of this are also humans, and this might be challenging too for them to fix. Sometimes we need to work with the government to understand these things. It's bad. Yeah, it's very bad. Imagine staying at home, you have electricity, and then your electricity is gone, and you're outside, there's no cable anymore. Almost like you never had electricity the whole time you were there. It's crazy. Anyways, let me know what you think about that video. And he speaks about China too. I've seen some of his videos on China, and now I didn't even know it was South African. Anyway, smash the like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.